This is such a beautiful building.
Isn't it amazing? It's the Patricia Argerary Academic Commons. And it's our newest building here at Salisbury University. The architecture is just stunning.
It's
unlike anything here.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot to introduce you. Hi, I'm Jenny Rosencrans with the University of Maryland Extension. And with me today is Julie Golightly, who is one of the best people at Salisbury University. She helps keep this place look absolutely immaculate in terms of all the green stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what's really cool about this building that you're not saying
Well,
yet?
it's unique in many ways.
Okay.
I do want to show you something fascinating.
Yeah.
Unlike anything inside here, but we have to go to the roof.
You have a roof garden.
We do have a green roof garden, yes.
So cool.
Let's go check it out.
Okay, so join us. Delmarva Gardens coming up next right here on Pack 14. We're going to go up to the garden. Wow, this is absolutely amazing. Look at how lush everything is. This is amazing.
This area here, the sedums do so well because there's such protection. We have this wall around here, and it doesn't get as much sunlight as the main rooftop gardens. And
so the heat factor is not quite as bad. I can understand that. Yes.
It isn't as bad, but you know, the sedums, they love the sun, they love the heat.
Yes.
But here they just get that little bit of added protection, so they really thrive here.
That is wonderful.
They really thrive. It's so dense and thick through here, and as you can see, all the different colors. We have flowering starting already.
Yeah. You've got the yellow flowering over here, and you've got this one flowering white over here. This is beautiful.
Yes.
And I love all the different colors of green and the different textures. And we're going to have to look at them and just say, wow, take a look at all these things. Well, the one other thing that I think is really cool about these things is that they just, this is like the postcard picture of it, how they're so dense. And you can walk on these things and not injure them, but it doesn't look like it would hurt them because they look like they're so dense.
They will. Now, they may just flatten for a brief moment, but they perk right back up.
They do.
And the great thing, as you know about sedums, is that even if they happen to break off, we can easily stick them back in and they reroot.
Well, you know, even if you take a leaf, sometimes they do. But
That's
you're right.
right.
This is so cool.
That's right.
Now, one thing I noticed about green roofs that is kind of interesting. When you have a rooftop, you can't have grass because grass gets so tall you'd have to bring a mower out here.
Correct.
And the biomass gets to be so much that you'd actually have too much weight on the roof. And then also you'd have to have a deep root system because grass likes to grow deep.
Right.
And if you have that, oh my goodness, you would have to have so much soil here, the sheer weight of it would be horrible. So this is growing in what, like almost an inch and a half?
About an inch of soil, and underneath the soil is almost a fiber mat where the roots can root and they can grow. And these sedums are all in trays.
Yes.
Now they filled in so nicely that we can't see them, but they are in 10 by 20 trays. Almost like a flat that you would annuals you would buy at a nursery.
Exactly. And the material that they're in is kind of like a gravel and clay mixture. And what that does is the gravel allows a really good drainage, and the clay actually holds the nutrients.
Yes.
So that if they do get, you know, they don't need a lot of nutrients because you don't want them to grow like gangbusters, but they do need something. And so the clay does hold the nutrients in, which is really nice.
Yes, it does.
So, and you've never had to fertilize this, have you?
We have not.
I don't think you're going to have to.
No.
Yeah. Oh, this is awesome.
So far so good, and everything is beautiful. As you mentioned, we have just a lovely tapestry of the sedums, all the different colors and textures, and we have some that are more reddish and purplish, and
let's
hopefully we can zoom in and show some of those.
Yeah, let's show off that. Let's take a look. I just love all the different colors. I mean, these are in bloom, aren't they?
Aren't they beautiful?
I just, you know, I love, like you say, the different colors and textures, but the heights also. And the fact that this is in bloom with these bright, bright yellow flowers. But look at these little guys over here.
Yes.
They have a more of a prickly look, although they're not prickly, but their flowers are totally different too. They're kind of coming out like a sunburst.
They are such a different, complete shape and form of these.
And I like how the nursery, when they sent it to you, interplanted this little guy that has all these little spiky things with this soft round ones. They're just so pretty. That almost has more of a blue-green color, which really, when you think about it, on the color charts, helps the yellow look a little bit brighter.
Yes, it does. It's a great contrast.
Yeah. And this one over here, look at this guy. He's got pink in him. So you don't even notice this when you're up at the rooftop level, but when you're down here looking at each individual plant, you go, wow, that is so pretty right there.
You can truly see the tapestry.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, this is so
Yes.
cool. Okay. Oh, this is lush.
Isn't it? Look how vigorous this growth is here.
Yeah, and that's one of the issues with some of the rooftop gardens. We have such a wonderful tapestry of plants in here. It's good that you have them in containers because this one would just take over the world or the roof.
If we peek through here, we can see some of these smaller ones.
Oh,
just
right.
Still trying to hang on and
Right,
poke their way through.
but you're right. They're not as vigorous. They're not as tall, so they don't have the opportunity to kind of take over as well as this big guy here,
Right.
which is really cool. But I love, again, the colors and the textures are so beautiful.
Aren't they?
They are. Let's go ahead and take a look at some other colors.
Let's do that. Right over here we see, and right here we see this contrast that you were talking about with the blues and the yellows, and
yes.
how it really
And it
stands
really,
out more with the two colors next to each other.
it really does. And if you look closely at the blue, part of the reason why it does look so blue, there's a little bit of a red edging, just a tad on that too,
There
which
is.
makes the blue look a little bit bluer. So again, the color contrasts are so beautiful here.
They are.
And they're
textures.
fun to pet also.
Aren't they? Yes, they do feel nice.
I know that in the nursery that they're often sold as steppables, and people would want to step on them originally, but when you do step on them, they're not that uncomfortable. And if you can pet them like this with your hand, then imagine what they feel like with your bare toes.
They would feel nice
That
with
would
their
be
feet,
cool.
wouldn't they?
Yes, they would. They would. I love them. Well, we're going to have to show you guys some other colors and textures because we are so blown away by all the colors and textures. Bear with us. We'll be right back. Okay, well there's so many beautiful colors and all that, but I wanted to share a close-up of what the substrate and the gravel looks like. So come on down here, take a look. This is like getting down into the nitty-gritty. So if you look here, it looks like dirt, but it's really a substrate with a little bit of compost and some clay. But here you can actually see the little teeny pieces of gravel. Look at that, they're very, very tiny. And the gravel actually helps with the drainage. Because if these sedum were in regular soil, they would actually rot. So the gravel helps drain them. And I think that's amazing. And the other thing is the way it works, but we'll talk about that later on. It's about plants right this second. So come guys, take a look at these beautiful plants. These are they're almost ready to bloom, and they're pink. Isn't that gorgeous? See, even the flowers are starting to get pink, but even the foliage is really cool.
Beautiful.
I love this. This
We
is so
actually
cool.
have our eschewed colors right here.
There we go.
Yes.
That was well planned.
That
yes,
was well
indeed.
planned.
And the other thing that we thought was absolutely beautiful is shades of blue. So we have to show you guys shades of blue. So one last time. Okay, let's go look at the shades of blue. Once again, the colors and textures are totally amazing. I'm just so blown away by all the different colors and textures. You mentioned the dragon's blood. I think that we've got some here that are the darker red, like this one right here that's just like coming up like a tower. It's just so cool. And then speaking of towers, this one with blue. I think I have this at home. It's sort of like a fake blue spruce or something like that.
It's beautiful.
These guys are so bumpy. Almost like little pebbles, little green pebbles.
They are
but
tiny,
they're
but those are
soft.
neat little guys.
Mhm.
And to most, this green roof would just look like a patch or a tapestry of
Right.
just some low-growing plants. But you know, for someone who truly appreciates plants, when you zoom in like we have here, we can really see the colors, the textures, and just the beauty of it all.
And the sheer
And the
horticulture.
function.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Well, speaking of function, let's go up on the roof and
Let's
see what
do
it
that.
looks like up there.
Sounds great.
Wow, the view from here is just spectacular.
Isn't it? It's a neat view. I've been in Salisbury for so long, but it's different when you're up this high looking around.
Right, right. Over there?
Well, we're on the north side of the building here, so we have Conway Hall, which is one of our newer buildings, the teacher education building, and then behind us you can see Holloway.
Oh,
Back
wow.
since
That's
1925 with the tower clock.
the
And
first one.
yes,
That's
yes,
so
yes.
cool.
So it's
Wow.
a beautiful view, and you can see the canopy of all of our trees here on campus.
This
Yes.
is such a green place. I love it. This is
nice?
neat. Now, what I think is really neat about this is that you can see that the heat is a little bit more intense up here. But what time of year did they install this?
This was installed late spring going into early summer, so it's been
Okay.
about a year.
Okay.
Been about a year.
All right. And when you think about that, I mean, when you buy a plant from the nursery, it is a water hog. It's a water junkie.
It is.
And so you
It's
have to,
babied.
yeah, you have to kind of wean it off all that water. So with this being put up in the middle of summertime with all that heat, I'm sure it was probably going under, you know, a couple of culture shocks. Like,
Yes.
first of all, where's my mom? And second of all, oh my Lord, it's really hot up here. But it's really neat to think about how this was all put together. So you've actually got like a rubber mat underneath.
We do.
That drains, that basically covers the roof to protect the roof.
Yes.
Okay, and then you have some drains. So we'll go ahead and show the drains in a little
We do
bit.
have the
Right.
drains, yes.
So, and then these are set down, and then you had to hand water them for a while, didn't you?
We do. We do have water access here, and we do have some sprinklers that,
Right.
that would get everything, you know, established a little bit
Right.
and just help it off. So
But now that they're mature, you're good.
we're good now.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we are good. And as you can see, you know, some of the more vigorous sedums, hopefully they will spread and fill
Right.
in some of these bare patches.
Uh-huh. Now, we were talking about some of the bare patches, and from a horticulturist point of view, sedums are very, very vigorous growers. So I think if you took like a small, like a 1-inch square out of a patch that was doing really well, you could probably go ahead and move it around, like say maybe in September.
Certainly, that'll be a perfect time to do that.
I think
Perfect time.
so.
It's a great idea, Jenny.
All right, well, we'll do that. So let's go ahead and take a look over here. This is so pretty. This is neat how you can walk on these things.
You can walk.
Okay, so the plastic, it's not really plastic, it's like a polyurethane, is that what you
Correct,
said?
that's
Okay.
correct.
And it's a little bit thicker than what we use for, like, say, the underground of an ornamental pool.
Exactly.
But it all goes to,
It all goes to our drain here.
Okay.
All the water is directed to our drain.
all right,
And it has this aluminum topping here.
Right.
And our drain system actually runs down through the walls of the building and then out towards the foundation, all along
Okay.
the building, and then flows into our bioretention areas to
So-
collect the water.
so you actually have a rain garden at the edges of the building.
All around the building
That
we
is
do.
so
Yes,
cool.
yes.
That is so cool. So it's a very, very efficient system to let all the water that comes here, instead of pouring off the roof and adding to all that flow, it's actually filtering through, so it's cleaner. It gets through into this, by the time it gets here, it's probably like really, really clean.
Very clean.
And then it goes into the rain gardens, which is even cleaner, and then it goes into the soil, which is where it needs to go.
Exactly.
That is so cool. That is so
Exactly.
cool. Now, we were talking about a little bit about the weeds. I noticed that weeds here, that you have very few of them, but you have birds that fly and drop things, and then the weed seeds are also blown about. So how often do you have to come up here and do some maintenance for
We
this?
try to come up here every couple of weeks.
Right.
And do some weeding up here. But
Okay.
yes, with the weed dissemination, the wind, the birds, any
Yeah.
type of, you know, transportation,
Uh-huh.
even the trays themselves.
Yes.
You know, early on we were finding, you know, a few little weeds from weed seeds in there. So yeah,
Right.
it does still require a little bit of maintenance.
Yep. Well, like any garden, you
Any
have to do a
garden.
little bit of maintenance.
That's right.
Okay, good,
Okay.
good. All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the other side of the gardens.
Sounds great. So now we're on the south side of the green roof. This is the largest expanse of green roof that we have on
Okay.
top of the Academic Commons building here. And as you can see, as far as you can see, we have just the sedums, the green roof everywhere. And I don't know if you can notice, but you feel a slight elevation change, a
Yes.
slight sloping.
Oh, okay. So it's not a totally flat roof.
It's not.
That's
it's not
neat.
a totally flat roof. So the highest point is in the center, and then we have a drain over there, which we discussed
Right.
earlier, and that's where all the water flows. And then likewise to the sides here along the edge,
Nice.
where all the water can channel and flow through our drains and out to the bioretention areas.
That is so perfect. Perfect. That is neat. Well, let's go ahead and take a look over at the other view, because when we're up here, you know, you don't get a chance to be up here too often, so join us. We're going to go over there. Let's go look. You know, the first time I ever saw a green roof, I was in Amsterdam. Well, I hear sometimes that when birds are up on a green roof, they're also looking for bugs that could be in the substrate or on the plants themselves, and that they'll pick up plants, little pieces of plants, and throw them all over the place.
Yes, they will. They will, and we even have beneficials up here as well. We've seen ladybugs crawling
Oh.
around. Yes, so we have our own little diverse kingdom up here.
Yes, you do.
And so there's, one more factor with functionality. So, and I hope you've enjoyed all the functions of the green roof and learning about it. And
yeah. Well, the fact that it cools.
the fact that it cools.
And that it filters the water.
It does. It improves the longevity of the building itself and the roof.
Oh, the longevity too.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
And it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and it's just so unique. It's different. We normally don't see gardens on a roof. We
Yeah.
see them on the ground.
Yeah.
And this is a really special addition here to the campus and Salisbury University.
I think it is. And thank you so much for sharing this with us, because
welcome.
I have never seen this before, and I love it. It's so beautiful.
Wonderful. I'm
Yeah.
glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you. And thank you guys for joining us, because now you know about green roofs. And you don't have to be up this high. You can go ahead and get your own sedums and plant them wherever you want, as long as they're in full sun. And you can have a beautiful little garden just like this. It's so cool. So thank you so much for joining us on Delmarva Gardens, right here on Pack 14.